Hey, I got an intro tour recorded this week, and as part of that I made this version of the original iPhone presentation, and it was quite easy, so I thought today I would show you how. So this is Square's TV App Lab number 75, where we talk about Video Pencil, Shoot and CueCam Presenter. This is a lab on After Hours and going out live on YouTube. I'm Michael Forrest, I make apps. And here are some other things I've made. So just some quick updates. I've sort of had some big ideas for the future of CueCam over the weekend, but I'm trying not to dive straight in because there are still some stability things that I need to fix, and I need to make sure all the nooks and crannies of this release are okay. I did a ton of little fixes to get this demo video out last week, which I have not pushed out live because I'm sure I'm going to discover some bugs during the course of this stream. So I'm just going to jump straight in and say hello to John. I'm going to say hello to Lorenzo, and I'm going to say hello to Dan. So, hey, well, bad weather. This is pretty good. But yeah, so building that presentation. So I'm just going to take you through. If you've looked at the demo video, it's on this channel, on the CueCam Presenter channel. You can just, it's like the second last one. The tour, it's like 24 minutes. The last three of those are the video. Just it sort of works quite as a nice summary at the end. But yeah, just in the middle of that, I just wanted to show you kind of converting a speech from stage into a speech for Zoom. So first thing to look at is this. Let's just think about what that speech was. So this was Steve Jobs on stage in 2007.
Day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
Right, so he is, let me know if this is echoey for you. This is, he's small on the stage. And, hey Neil, I've always got to check the chat just in case it's an issue. But look, he's small, and then there's this big thing, and this is what it's like when you're on a stage. But he sort of does his intro patter.
Introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh.
And sort of he's putting stuff up on the screen. So we've got this 1984 Macintosh thing, 2001 the iPod. Then he sort of goes into these, sort of introduces the iPad, and then he sort of introduces everything sort of with a little bit of animation. We sort of, as we get later on, where is it? It's sort of
and an internet communicator.
He's doing this thing.
Internet communicator.
So I thought I'd try and bring some of that to more of a kind of Zoom style thing. So I found a transcript of it. And so the first thing I'll show you is how I kind of got that transcript into CueCam. So if we go to CueCam and just make ourselves a new document and see if we can get that on screen along with, let's just go to the next thing. Yeah, so we've got our screen here, and let's find our transcript that should be here. Can I have my CueCam window? Let's get rid of that, and let's find that. Yeah, I want my CueCam window. Where's the window I just made gone? Yeah, so I am finding some stuff here. Let me just make another one. And just drag it. Sorry, I don't know why I've got center stage turned on, because it's just not helping. Let's just get rid of center stage, and then we won't have to fight with the disappearing windows. Right. So here's my script. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if we can just hide the thumbnails to give ourselves a bit more space. So what you can actually do is sort of copy your paragraphs of text. And actually, this document isn't ideal because it actually it it doesn't have sort of double line breaks there. But if we copy it, and then if you press escape to not be in a card and then go paste, like if there are line breaks, that will break those up into separate cards. But because this is sort of just a formatted paragraph, we're going to have to do a bit more work. So what I'm going to do, so I've been looking forward to this. So I'm just going to, so what I've done here, right, so I'm holding this here. I go Shift, I go Command, I press down, that selects the rest of it. And then I can go Edit, move selected text to new card, right? And now we've got 2 cards. And then I'm sort of looking at this every once in a while, and then he sort of does a bit of an aside here, and so we'll say and has been able to introduce a few of these into the world. So we'll just make that into the second card. Then I'll do the same thing, Command Shift down, and it's actually Command Alt down. We'll put that onto a new card, and then Command up is going to take me back to the start of this card. And I'm just going to like sort of break this up along where that sort of looks like it should be a new card with that same keyboard shortcut. In 2001 we changed music, and then sort of break that down into another thing. Again, like if this wasn't a sort of a PDF with just, you know, single line breaks, then, you know, if you did this in Notes, then it would be a lot easier to just sort of like sort of put 2 spaces where you want there to be a card, 2 line breaks, and then those could come through. So I'm just I'm sort of just breaking these across into different cards using that same technique and getting it shorter and shorter. And you see the sort of length of the card gives us the ability to sort of throw something on screen at that moment, and that's kind of how we're deciding what to do. So I'm going to break that, and then there's got the 3 things: a revolutionary mobile phone and a breakthrough internet communications iPod. Are you getting it? This is one device, and we are calling it. And then I am going to break this where he says iPhone, and then continue there. And then we've got the little joke where he reveals a kind of, I'll show you that in a minute, like a silly sort of fake thing. So I'm just going to put in that there's going to be a pause there, and then he holds the thing up, and then, you know, we've got some stuff about, he sort of gets out the Business School 101 graph, and there's some more stuff, and we'll just do the first page for now, because it's sort of like a few pages. But you know, this is a fairly epic, you know, epic thing. But now that we've got this up, the next thing we want to do is sort of start looking at what we want to say that. So I sort of, the first thing I did was put, so I you know, you can go add title, but I tend to just type the hash character and just go, you know, introducing, well, what do we call this? Apple event 2007. I don't know what we're going to put on there. I don't know. And maybe we'd have the Apple logo on there. I don't know. But so we have this preamble every once. So if we just like, what we can do is, it's hard to demonstrate with the teleprompter when I'm using the teleprompter. Maybe I'll sort of sacrifice the teleprompter window for a moment, and by going into demo mode, see what we get if we go into demo mode here. Yeah, no, we get feedback because I need to go this one. So how about this? Okay, so yeah, that's our teleprompter window. So if I were to press start on here, we could have a look and just sort of see how that's going to feel. So this is the day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years, every once in a while. So you see, like, I'm able to kind of read along with that presentation, and I can just look at the camera. We introduce the Macintosh. Okay, so when Steve does his original talk, maybe we can find that iPhone, YouTube. So bring this back and see what he was showing on the screen. So we had, yeah, a picture of a Mac. So what do we do there? So we just go like original Mac. We're going to find something This one looks, well, maybe one that's saying hello. Yeah, this is a good one. So if we were to grab, say, this one, you can just drag that to your desktop. Let's just check that that's not too bad. Rename it Original Mac. Oh, sorry. I need to come out of demo mode. Right, let's start that again. And go back to my desktop. So, we see that he sort of takes this picture of a Mac and he puts that in. So what am I going to do? I'm going to search for I'm going to search for my Windows. Let me just make this come back up again. Okay, let's do it like this. So Original Mac. Okay. And so, you know, we're just going to go to Google Images. We're going to sort of find one that looks all right. We're going to click on it. And then it's going to make us click on it again. This one looks all right. So, you know, I'm just going to drag that to my desktop, which I just did there before. I'll do it again. So I'm going to rename this to Original Mac. And I'm going to right click on it and go Quick Actions, Remove Background. And then I'm going to have a PNG of the original Mac. I'm just going to get rid of that background, remove text. And then I am just going to chuck that into my slides. So I'm just going to drag that in. And we have our first crash of the day. So, luckily, CueCam is very good at holding on to your work, so we don't have any great issues as a result of that. So let's try that again. Hopefully the same. I mean, hopefully it does crash in exactly the same way, because that will show us that that it's an easy to fix bug, because that's easy, but no. So yeah, here we go. So I've grabbed the original iMac and I'm going to make it say 1984 by putting a hash in front of that and then putting a line break after it. And then I'm going to have a look here and just make this layout. You can go card, layout. I'm going to go over the shoulder left. And now we have, is that our, oh, that's the JPEG, sorry, we want the PNG. So let's just drag that in instead, grab the PNG, and now we've got a card with, you know, a picture of a Mac. Not sure I like that, but yeah, that's how I did that. And then the same thing for in 2000. So what you can do is, like, you can edit this and kind of keep the flow of the thing a little bit. Like, what, should I zoom in a little bit? I don't know. We can keep the flow by just sort of putting line breaks in so that we get the text here, but we can sort of still read it kind of linearly in the same way. And so I'm just going to find an original iPod image. So if I just go, you know, iPod, find a picture of that, see if I can find one that looks like we can get the background off. Let's maybe this one. This one might be good, so I'm just going to drag that again to my desktop. Let's see if that's got a transparent background already. I don't think it will have, but can I have my window, please? So I'm going to try dragging that in and get my original iPod image. Yeah, it looks like it's got a transparent background. And I'm just going to go, you see this card layout, these have actually got keyboard shortcuts, so I'm just going to hit the Command 2 to bring that up. Yeah, we could do the background, remove background trick on that as well, but I'll leave this for now. And I did sort of, I did actually end up doing a little bit of work in Sketch. You can use Figma. I just, you know, Sketch is sort of a little bit more native, so I tend to kind of use Sketch for things. So what I did for these was, in fact, I think I just trimmed them in Preview, to be honest. So I don't think I even did those in Sketch. So I just made them sort of on the same size transparency. I just want to check that I'm not missing any chat. Okay. So then there's these sort of this sort of sequence of three. iPhone, Steve Jobs introduces the iPhone. Then he sort of does these sort of these slides with this stuff. So again, like, he's really tiny down here, and then it's sort of like you just sort of got quite a lot of space to fill. But we're in when we're on a webcam, like we can fill the space with ourselves. Like we don't need to be dwarfed by the content. So in that case, I made those. Well, you can sort of see them here. I just made myself some little images that I could use as the thing. I'll just show you how I did that. So SF Symbols is basically a tool for developers that you can download for free, but you've got like millions and millions of icons. So I just went into that. So it was like what? It was like original. The first one is, let's just split this down a couple more times. Second is a revolutionary phone. So split these. So the first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. So let's just go and go into SF Symbols. Go, and obviously you could just go on the internet and find stuff, but I like doing it like this. I go to the original iPod, copy image as SVG, and then I'm just going to go into Sketch and paste that. Oh no, I need to copy. I thought I copied that. Copy image as SVG. Paste. Yeah, so now I've got my iPod, and I'll sort of make that the size I want. Let's say I want it to be 200. Whoops, I'll lock those. Say I want that to be like, what did I make these? I made these like 240. So let's make them like 220 wide. And then you can come into sort of, usually there's like if you click on an SVG, I can actually open that up, grab the shape and change the fill. Well, an easier way to do it is actually to add, I'm going to add a tint here, but usually you can add a fill overlay. No, I'm sorry, I'm right in the way. Look, how good is it that I know that my face is in the way of the panel, because CueCam's actually putting my chroma key on my desktop so I can see exactly where I am. So I'm not doing the wrong thing here. So I'm going to go, it's not going to, I think I did these as PNGs, to be honest. Let's just go back and I think on the internet you're more likely to guess it. So let's copy this as a PNG. And then I can show you what I actually did. So I'll paste that in. You can sort of change the size of it, but you can add a fill, and then you can make that a gradient fill, and then we can sort of pick one from there, or just I kind of had a look at what was in that original presentation. He had the sort of yellow gradient, the green gradient, and the sort of blue gradient for Safari. So I just sort of made these three images like that. Each of these is on a little artboard so that I can export with a name. So I kind of made it sliced, made a PNG with a background. And so then I had these three images. So when I sort of dragged that to my desktop, I think I can drag it straight from Sketch into CueCam, actually. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It even has the right name. I think there's something going on with that background. I think because for the next step I did something different. But yeah, we can put iPod and we can go iPod, like touch screen, like wide screen. I don't know, like widescreen iPod maybe. Thing. So yeah, we can sort of throw up these slides. So I kind of did those three slides like that, and then the next stage was kind of making that little cubey animation. So he's got that thing where they sort of spin around as he's sort of coming up to sort of the big reveal. And actually, that's something we can kind of use Keynote to create. So so something that's even if I don't want to use Keynote to do my presentations, but it is actually a pretty handy tool for creating animations really easily, and then you can export those and use those in CueCam. So in Keynote, can you tell I'm tired? So I'm just going to create a new document. I'm actually going to make sure it's a blank. I think there's a blank layout here because I did delete the stuff, but then that caused problems later. But what we can do is if we copy that, paste that into Keynote, we can add another slide, blank, copy the phone, and paste that into Keynote, and then we can add another slide, copy that, add another thing in Keynote, blank, and paste it. And now I'm actually gonna duplicate this last one and put it at the end, because what we can do now is select all of those, go animate, add an effect, and there is this cube effect which I can click on. And if I change, oh no, it's not cube, it's object cube. So there's cube, but then there's object cube. So this gives us, if we have a look, that sort of flippy thing. We can change them from right to left, preview, kind of see what that looks like. And if I just sort of play that in a window, blur, 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 really easy to sort of make that little cube animation. If you sort of decide you want that to be bigger, you can just sort of like scale that stuff up a little bit. I'm going to be imprecise about this because it's going to sort of like, it's going to be I should probably make sure these are exactly the same, but let's just see how that comes out. If we just do that, we can sort of do that, blur. And the reason I've made the last frame the same as the first is now I just want to export this. So File, Export to Movie, Self-Playing. I'm going to go to the next slide straight away, next build straight away, Self-Playing, and I'm going to save that to my desktop as iPhone elements animation, right? Or cube or something. So now that's on my desktop. We should be able to see it here. Here it is. Where is it? iPhone. Where did I save that? Did I not save that where I thought I saved it? Sorry. Let's just go back to Keynote. And I just minimize the window. Come on, Keynote. Where's my Keynote window? There. Okay, so if I just do that again, rather than try and find out where I put it, movie, where did I save it to? Documents. Okay, so let's go into my documents folder and grab it. Is it it was iPhone. Where did it save it? File, export to movie, 0, 0, save, desktop, and it was in Keynote, iPhone, cube, animation, right? So I was able to save that out to my desktop. So now I should be able to find that. There it is. Right, so that's on my desktop now. And if we just sort of get rid of the other stuff that's in the way, get rid of SF Symbols, get rid of that Documents window, get rid of that. Now we've got this this thing. So if I just reveal that, now we've got that animation as a video. And in CueCam, we can just drag that. So this is the one where we've got, like, here's the three things. So I'll just drag the video onto there. And that is going to give us the video. And now what we can do is go to the card settings. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say the end action is going to be loop. And I'm also just going to trim it so it's because you see there's a little bounce that it sort of goes black at the end, but we just want to sort of like make sure we catch it before it bounces. Just trim it in CueCam. And now if I stop sharing my desktop, if I go into demo mode and then present this card, right, we're going to see that is now a continuous looping animation. You see the trim point that we did, sort of it jumps back to the right place. So we can just sort of leave that playing as we go. So the next thing I did for this presentation, if I can just find my correct chart thing. So the next thing I did was this chart. So he does this whole Well, he does. I also grabbed the picture of the cheesy sort of fake iPod. You know, he did the phone with the thing. So I grabbed that, found that. I just screenshotted that and like removed background and chucked that in. And then if we have a look here, he's got this chart that he kind of reveals as he goes. And I thought, well, why don't we just do that with Video Pencil? So I sort of just had a look at that. I just made a blank version of it. So in Sketch, I just sort of drew, I just made, put a couple of text fields in, just a box, some arrows. Like Sketch lets you have like the ends be arrows. You can just kind of, sort of go line tool, draw a thing, hold shift, set the thickness, and like make the end of it an arrow. It's quite easy to sort of put together something like that, and then just put some little text fields in. And I just like made a gradient with the same gradient that was on the thing. And then why don't I just sort of drag that to my, I give that chart background. Actually, this is something I do like about working with Sketch, is that you can literally just drag from Sketch into CueCam. So if I go down, and at some point he's talking about this, so I'll just drag that on. So now we've got that card background. If we go back to the editor, so we see that's going to be a background like that. Let's just make that a bit bigger. So then the next thing I did was I thought, well, let's use the iPad. Share my iPad on the next slide. Let's just do that. So hopefully that's gonna. Oh no, this one. So I'll show you the iPad screen. So what I wanted to do there was sometimes, this feed sort of gets a bit jittery, but it's like just picture that you can see that chart. There's the chart like that. There's all that. Because I'm sharing the iPad screen, it's not going to do the full thing. Oh, maybe I could. What I could do. Watch this. If I go copy that, and then on the iPad, I think I can go paste. Yeah, there we go. Right, cool. So we've got that graphic on the iPad screen. I just copied it from Sketch and pasted it on. And then what I did for the circles, because I thought I'll draw a circle, but I thought, well, that doesn't look very Apple neat. But so what I did instead was I went into my settings, because what you can do when you press and hold, you can add symbols, and you sort of drag left and right, and you can add in a symbol. So all I did was went into my settings. So there's symbol settings, just made it really big and sort of like turned off everything except the circle to just be on the safe side. And then I could just like press and hold smartphone, oh, sorry. Yeah, so there's this, and then just use live titles to go cell phone. And then sort of went down here, sort of I'm able to sort of add those things, and then like switch the color to green, and then go iPhone. So this was just to sort of solve that particular problem. Like I had the tools, I just had to sort of think of a way to use it. One of my favorite things is how the iPad looks when you put it in a side 3D. One of my not favorite things is how we keep getting a flash of a frame across the screen. But we will prevail. So I think like what's really important to remember here, just to sort of summarize. So now, like the next version of CueCam, you are going to be able to go demo mode. You are going to be able to go file, sample scripts, iPhone introduction, and just actually grab that one that I made. So you can just have a tinker through it. You see in here, like I've put a comment in there, so that's something that doesn't come through to the teleprompter. I've got like my little text there. I've got those images that I added in. We've got this, but you see, like it's mostly about the words, right? And then we just create a bit of, I wish it was easier to be sort of, maybe the whole thing I should have like kind of done sort of from the side so that it would have been easier to show the thing. But it's just like minimal stuff. Like I'm putting even less on screen than Steve Jobs did in that presentation, and I think it works. So that just goes to show. So first iPod, then we've got these things. Oh, they do have that funny fringing thing, and then we've got the iPhone Cube video on there. And then we've got this, and then I've got this sort of like goofy thing here, and that's a background image set to, so just sometimes if it doesn't quite fit when you do a screenshot, you can just use fill to just make sure it crops in. We've got the, a little BlackBerry picture, and then I've got my charts background. Something to watch out for is when you, and you'll see when I do the run through, when you change slides in CueCam, it will create a new canvas on Video Pencil. So if I'm presenting this, and I have drawn something, if I've drawn something here, and then, oh God, I'm nervous about whether you're seeing this. Yeah, then I go to the next slide. That drawing's going to disappear, but when I come back, it's going to reappear. So just sort of think about that. I'm thinking of like putting in the ability to like tag something so you can sort of draw something over a number of slides. But just remember that like as you come between cards, your drawings are saved. So you can always sort of get back to it until you press stop. And then when you present that card again, it should be blank again. I guess it wasn't blank that time. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. And then the only other thing is, like, I guess that you're on that stage, it's got that sort of smoky Apple logo in the background, which looks kind of cool. But yeah, why not just, you can always just stick like a watermark in, or you can have like a, landing screen with your logo on it. Like the way I do it is I just have, the way I usually just, we should go demo mode for that. I like this sort of method where I'll be like, let's just create, one of these is there is actually a title and icon example here. So I'm going to be like, Apple presentation. So you can just sort of stick some branding in that way. And I think that's quite good. I think that's a bit more subtle, and it lets you be the star a bit more. But of course you can just put a full screen graphic as well. So yeah, that was not the smoothest, but I have to say, I'm getting to the end of my energy. So I'm just going to try and take it easy for a little bit. But that's the end of that demo. So I'm going to sort of hold for questions and comments on that. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I think I'm like stumbling through something, and then I watch it back, and it's like I'm usually going so fast through stuff that actually probably the hesitation and delays made it a bit more palatable. But if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to jump in now. And otherwise, I'm gonna get ready to go and bath this baby. We're at past. That was half an hour. I'm surprised it was half an hour. But yeah, it's good to see everyone. So thank you all for joining. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the overhead camera. Oh, outro stuff. Squares.tv/Discord. That's where you can find the community for all this. And then Michael@Squares.tv is where you can email me and I will answer. As long as you're not like being weirdly spammy and sort of like you've clearly copied and pasted the title of my app from Product Hunt and put it into a template email. But yeah, usually, I'll do it. Thanks, David. David says, thanks. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if it was, put a like if it was. There's a subscribe on this channel, all that stuff. Let's try and get this into the YouTube algorithm a bit. Especially now that things are feeling a bit more fleshed out with the app and the documentation. But yeah, I was just gonna kind of do another little bit of a sort of deluge play out today. So what I've got for you today is it's sort of some loops from a track I made a few years ago, but also I've got some like baby noises. So I'm just gonna muck about with that. So we're gonna go over to an overhead camera, and does it still exist? Cameras? Oh no. Let's just come back in to shoot on this. It's been going. We're going to go to the overhead. Come on. Share cameras. shoot on iPhone XR. So we've got the overhead camera again. So I've got some loops across here. So I'm just gonna, should I be picture in picture? Yeah, I'll be picture in picture. I'm wondering why I liked it when the iPad was showing the thing. Do you know, like if in doubt with any of this stuff, I wonder why it's showing that. Am I in demo mode or something still? What's it displaying? Blue. Oh, you're getting a blue background on the output. Am I still in demo mode? Yeah, I'm in demo mode. Okay, that's what's going on there. I was wondering what was going on there, why that wasn't coming up. Okay, thank you everyone. Yeah, we were in demo mode still, which was then becoming an issue. Oh, demo mode, eh? It's just a layer of complexity and everything. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, sorry about that. So I was just going to show you... just going to go to the overhead camera. So I just got some, like, I'm just mucking about with this thing. Since all my music gear is in storage, I've just got this really at the moment. So yeah, this is how I'm going to play us out. And yeah, just try and have some, try not to look too pained as I do it. Michael has forgotten to turn on the audio input. See, like, I just start trying to do more and more. Let's go. There we go. Plus that's good because I kind of messed up how I wanted to do it. So this is coming from via the Evo connected to a jack, and then this is another input set in CueCam. I had it all set up earlier, and then I sort of reset it, and I was going to do it, and then I forgot to do it. Okay. that'll do for today. Thanks everyone for watching. Dan is talking about gear acquisition syndrome, and I will say it was a hard day when I went from music gear to also camera gear. I was like, am I going to do this? Lorenzo says, can I get a copy of some of your music? It's all on on Spotify. There's a massive SoundCloud library at Michael Forrest. It's on Amazon Music, it's on Apple Music, it's on everything. I've got a Bandcamp. So just go to Michael Forrest. The address, like the quickest way into finding it, and you can go to releases, is thismf.art. There you go. Did that appear? Did that appear? Let me just make sure that appears. So it's going to be, just go to thismf.art is my fun website. All right, thanks everyone. See you next time. Have a good week. I need some sleep. Bye.